everyone. This is your 2019 German Formula One Grand Prix Fantasy Wrap, brought to you by Fox Blockhead. That's right, this is the German Formula One from a fantasy perspective. If you play fantasy Formula One, here are some things that you might like to know from Germany and moving forward. Here are our top 3 race finishes, again from a fantasy race perspective. First, we have Max Verstappen, won the race, 50 fantasy points. Well done, Max. Second, we have Daniel Kvyat. He actually came third in the race, but picked up some good points in there. Lance Stroll coming in third with 28 points. Not someone you expect to see up there, but from a fantasy perspective, raced well. Started low, finished high. That's lots of points. We have Toro Rosso, who got 48 points. The top team of the day. Crazy town, right? And Max Verstappen picking up the +5 for the fastest lap. Drivers' fantasy results from Germany. We have almost a flipped grid here. Check this out. On the left, we've got the top 10 finishes. On the right, the bottom 10 finishes, and those ones with minus: Leclerc, Bottas, Perez, Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, and Norris, all not finishing the race, so getting big minuses there. On the left, you can see lots of green, as well as Kvyat with 5.59 points per million. Big value pickup for the German Grand Prix, but I don't expect a lot of people to have picked up those guys because they're not top performers week in, week out. They're the ones that you want to bring into your team to fill up those last little remaining holes. But check that out. That is this race, Germany, wet race, dry race, was the one that we needed, I think, for the 2019 season. The constructors' results look like this. Toro Rosso, 7.38 points per million. Huge. Then we have Red Bull, Ferrari, Racing Point, Haas, Williams, McLaren, Mercedes, Renault, and Alfa Romeo picking up 1 point for the Constructors' Fantasy World Championship. Again, bit of a flipped grid. A few top money earners right at the top there, but lots of people would have had Mercedes. Only 17 points from the Constructor. The Dream Team, if you had this team right here, then you would have done a lot better than a lot of people. 246 for only 82.9 million. Maybe you were changing some things around, getting ready for the next race, leaving some money on the bench, in the bank, so that you could buy someone big. I don't know why you would have had Lance Stroll, but anyway, if this is who you had with the turbo on Kvyat, you would have got the max score. It was easy to work out this week. Top 5 drivers, top constructor, done, sorted. See you later. The dud team. Unfortunately, these are the players that a lot of people would have had. Leclerc, either Ricciardo or Hulkenberg, maybe Perez, Norris. Norris has been doing really well. The turbo on Norris, minus 59 for a decent dollar value, $72.2 million. Lots of these dud teams have been down around the $50, $60 million mark, even below that. This one's quite high, so a lot of people would have picked up only a few points. Now to the bonus chance, looking at the qualifying and the finishing in the top 10 for the team. Both drivers have to do it. Looking at Germany here in qualifying, we had Norris and Leclerc both up for bonus. 1, 2, 3, 4. Norris, unfortunately, he missed out. He actually finished way down in Q1 and then took a penalty for changing one of his bits and pieces, his power unit, I think. Leclerc, though, he finished in Q3 +5. When I checked, he didn't have the +5. Maybe that's because he didn't set a time in Q3, but he should have +5 because he's finished in Q3 for 5 races in a row. In the race, we only had Leclerc and 1, 2, 3, 4, and unfortunately Leclerc crashing out in Germany, not picking up the bonus 10, but that resets for him anyway. And for Norris in qualifying there. The Constructors' bonus chance, nothing. No one was up for a bonus in Germany, so we're going to leave that one blank and keep moving. Looking ahead, qualifying, Verstappen, he is on a run with 4. Hungary, if he finishes in Q3, bonus 5 for him. Gasly and Hulkenberg, they're on 2 at the moment for qualifying. If they get it in Hungary and Belgium, then they're up in Italy, I think. So looking a long way ahead. Doesn't look like anyone's up for qualifying bonus in Belgium, which frees up our teams just a little bit. Carlos Sainz for the race. He's finished in the top 10 for 4 in a row now. Hungary, he's up for a +10. And Kvyat, has finished top 10 in Great Britain and Germany. And now for Hungary, if he can get that one again, he's also looking at Italy. There's a whole bunch of drivers that have actually got now one bonus rather than these guys having the two. So I've picked up these ones with two, and we can see the bonus chance for constructors now qualifying. Mercedes are up to 2. If they can finish both their drivers in Q3 in Hungary, they get a bonus 5. Red Bull, they need Hungary to then go for Italy, so could be some shuffling around in your teams to get Mercedes for Hungary, Red Bull for Italy. That could work for you. In the race, no one is up for a bonus in Hungary, but if Haas and Toro Rosso can both finish top 10 in Hungary, which is very, very unlikely, but anyway, if they can, Italy will be there. Belgium. Belgium is the next race, will be their potential plus 10 to their team scores. So keep your eye on those. Hungary is Mercedes, the others will be for Belgium. But I'll update you after this next race in Hungary. Current driver standings top 10. First thing you might notice is all the prices are zero change. I think one weekend along the line there, I actually adjusted the prices a bit too late, so they'd already been adjusted, so I missed one of the price rises. Hopefully now we're back on the right rise and fall. We can see the value over here on the right. I forgot to highlight Carlos Sainz down there, about P6, 1.5 points per million per race. I've divided that now by per race. Daniel Kvyat with the value pick. Pipping Bottas didn't finish quite well. Hamilton currently in the lead with 445. Verstappen 376. Bottas currently in the bronze medal position with 363. But George Russell still up there, Sainz still up there, Bottas still up there with the value picks. The bottom 10 looks like this. Stroll and Perez both pipping 100 points. Grosjean still clawing to get past 0. The poor fella. But you kind of expect to see this. Unfortunately, the Renault's not in the pointy end, still in the bottom half. But this could all change. This is season to date. So have to see how it all goes. The constructors' standings currently look like this. Mercedes romping away with it, 733 points. Still having an issue when it gets hot though, or potentially when it rains, or when they decide on a different strategy for Hamilton. But anyway, they're still leading the thing. Ferrari with 507 coming up second. Toro Rosso, now the value pick with 2.62 points per million per race. Which means they're getting approximately 15 points per race. Mercedes 2.05 points per million per race. They're getting about 64 per race. So still, you want to trying to pick those top teams. McLaren clawing their way up there. Only 8 million, but still 4th in the constructors' standings. Drivers' battles. This is something I wanted to show you for this race. A few statistics. We can see the first number I'm going to show you is the qualifying battle. So Magnussen has beat Grosjean, top left there with Haas, 7-4. So Magnussen has outqualified Grosjean 7-4 out of 11 races so far, and he's beaten Grosjean's beaten Magnussen 6-5 in races. So if you're looking to pick up those few bonus points for beating their teammate in qualifying, you get 2. For beating your teammate in the race, you get 3. So Grosjean's picking up more of those 3 points, Magnussen with more 2s. We have a look over here at Alfa Romeo. Raikkonen beating Giovinazzi 7-4 and 10-1 in the race. So Raikkonen, if you're looking at an Alfa Romeo driver, Raikkonen looks like the guy to have. Down with Renault, Ricciardo beating Hulkenberg there 8-3, and then in the race 6-5. So a bit more even during the race if you're thinking of taking a punt on a Renault driver. Over here with Williams, Russell out qualifying Kubica 11-0. I think he's the only driver with a perfect record against his teammate. Kubica's beaten Russell twice now out of the season. And then down to Toro Rosso, pretty even. Kvyat beating Albon 6-5 in qualifying, 7-4 in the race. Pretty even. Let's have a look at the next screen, which looks like this. This is the average qualifying position. So if you have a look at Williams, even though Russell has outqualified Kubica 11-0, his average starting position 19. to 20. So not huge. What you want to do is you want to try and finish these drivers in Q3 because you get a 3-point bonus for finishing there, plus you get a bonus depending on where you finish in that Q3. So Magnussen, Ricciardo, average starting position is P10. Grosjean, Raikkonen, Hulkenberg, Giovinazzi, Albon, Kvyat, all right up there at the top end of Q2, Q3, pushing those boundaries. And then in the race, Grosjean has an average finishing position of 10, Magnussen 13, Ricciardo, Hulkenberg 13, Kvyat, Albon 12, 11. Again, you want to be finishing top 10 to pick up those maximum points like they would get in the race. Kubica beating Russell 17, 16. So still down the bottom. Russell, though, a value pick. Last screen here, you can see average starting position, average finishing position. Raikkonen 11, 11. He's pretty solid in the midfield there. Kvyat, Albon, pretty consistent around the middle there, so nothing too huge or too downer in the bottom 5. Now to the top 5, we have Norris out qualifying Sainz 7-4, but Sainz out racing Norris 8-3. Better in the race is Sainz. Over to Racing Point, Perez. Oh, I do have a second one. Perez out qualifying Stroll 11-0, and out racing him 7-4. Down to Ferrari, Vettel out qualifying Leclerc 6-5 and out racing him 7-4. Red Bull 10-1, Verstappen over Gasly. The 1 is when Verstappen thought he had Q3 in the bag, didn't go out for another run, and then ended in Q2. That's how Gasly pipped him on that one. And then 10-1 in the race. The only one that Gasly's beaten Verstappen, I think, was in Great Britain when Verstappen got run up the back of by Vettel. So pretty close to Verstappen wiping Gasly. Down the bottom, Hamilton out qualifying Bottas 7-4, out racing him 8-3. Hamilton definitely the better person to pick up, but his value so much higher than Bottas. So all these things that you have to consider. Average starting position here, Sainz and Norris 11-10, Perez, Stroll 13-17, Verstappen, Gasly Q3, Vettel, Leclerc Q3, Hamilton, Bottas Q3. So you know the drivers you want, and the values actually represent that. So you got to look at that, keep working on that. Stroll, though, if you look at his starting position to his finishing position, always taking positions. Hamilton, Bottas, they've always finished up the top. Verstappen right up there as well. Gasly top 10 for finishing position. Let's get both those numbers there. You can see Stroll 17 down to 12. Norris 10 down to 12, losing positions. Sainz 11-10, gaining positions per race. Gasly, about the same. So, hopefully these are some statistics that you can take into your teams and your consideration. Now for the German Fantasy League placings. This is my Blockheads private league. If you'd like to join, have a look in the description down below. Check out the code. Go to fantasy.formula1.com, put in that code, and you could actually be looking at yourself here. First up, we have a new team taking gold for this week. Score of 213. Amazing score, considering all those minuses we're getting there. I'm not even going to try and say that name. This fella's from Italy. This person, I should say, is from Italy. Don't know if it's a guy or a girl. Person from Italy. Mystery F1 team. Mysterious something or other. In P2, we have SDG the Peeps from Kevin with 119. Nice pickup with Sainz on the turbo. And in third place, we have Mysterious Bright Mystery. Also Kevin with 79 points. Now you can see, third place, 79 points. Doesn't look super good. This is the league as it stands. Diego from Italy, the new racer. You can see the weekly score in that first column, and then the total score since Baku. So this is everyone since the fourth race of the season when Kevin joined the competition here, and you can see my scores in there, 53 and 19. Pretty poor if you ask me, but this is, I think, is how I'm going to display. If we get more people, I'm going to have to shrink it up a little bit. So here's my teams. Followed the signs, 19 points. Had Bottas, double Norris and Leclerc, but luckily I had Red Bull to boost me up there. For Hungary, I'm going to get Verstappen in. Hopefully he's going to get me some good points and those bonus points as well. And my other team, the engine Blockheads, looks like this. 53. Luckily the turbo wasn't on Norris, but I still got 4 out of 5 with a minus. 4 out of 5 not finishing. 53 points. And then for Hungary, we're getting Kvyat in. did very well, but also leaving me with dollars in the bank so that I can boost something up for the next race for Belgium. Oh, so there you go. There you have it. That was your German Grand Prix wrap. The next race is this weekend, Hungary, 2nd to 4th of August, with qualifying 3 p.m. August 3rd. That's local time in Hungary. I will be watching. Hopefully you will be as well. If you want to get your changes in, 3 p.m. August 3rd is when they need to be done by, so that they will take effect for the Hungarian Formula 1 Grand Prix. I will see you in a week's time with a wrap from the next race from a fantasy points perspective. More statistics, more points, more numbers, more excitement, hopefully, after that German Grand Prix with all that rain. Anyway, that's enough from me. My name is Fox Blockhead. This has been your Formula 1 Fantasy Grand Prix wrap for the 2019 German Grand Prix. Until next time, I will see you later, alligators.